Hey, Andy. Andy, are you
Hey,
there,
Jen,
Andy?
how are you today?
Hey, guess what date it is?
I don't know. It's March. It's a Friday. It's
Well,
7
it's one
o'clock.
day away before we have to give up an hour for daylight
Oh,
savings time. And it's also
is that
Andy
that week?
Talks Real Estate and more with me.
That's this weekend. I forgot. Okay.
Yes.
Better mark it down.
Better mark it down and go to bed an hour earlier so you don't feel like you lost sleep on Sunday morning.
Yeah, yeah. And spring ahead, you always lose an hour, not quite, as beneficial as in November when you gain that extra hour. So
However, it's a beautiful time. We have many more hours of sunshine
yes,
to be
yes.
able to go look at houses to make houses look better.
Very
Yes.
good, Jeanette. Very good for sliding that in as a segue. Very good.
So
I love it.
speaking of real estate, Andy, up, down, sideways,
Oh,
what's going on? What's going on?
wow. Well, okay, let's get right into it. And I'll share my screen here. And
One of the reasons why I'm interested, because, as you update me and update us all, I have heard that the Bank of Canada rate stayed the same.
yes, it was March 8th. They came out and they kept the same rate. They didn't go
Mm.
up, which is very interesting in how that's going to affect our markets. And then we've got another, I think in April, we'll have another look at it. And then I believe it's July. So, but they've and they sort of indicated that in the last update in January, was it? Or that they only went up 0.25%. And so this time they've leveled off. And they're forecasting 6 months out. It takes that long before the real effect of the interest rate affects the economy. So, they're trying to do a bit of forecasting, and it's been pretty severe. I mean, we've come from 0.5% all the way up to 4.25. So it is significant that they've topped off, and with that, perhaps buyers are thinking that this is going to be a stable market. And also, too, I'll show you what our numbers are doing, and think about how interest rates are leveling off, and what we expect to see in the next few months. So, in the Fraser
Okay.
Valley Real Estate Board, the board processed 898 listings during the month of February. That was a 43.5% increase from January.
Wow.
Yet it was a 50.9% decrease from February 2022. So, listings are starting to move up. However, we're still way below last year's. And the supply of inventory is increased from 5.7 from January 2023, and it was a decrease of 48.2% compared to last year. So sales are up for the last month, and listings are up from the last month, but comparatively for last year we are down. And to put it in a picture perspective, here's February 2022. You can see our listing way up there, 3746. And that was, like March of last year is when the market started to peak. A lot of places that was the top, March, April. And with the big influx of listings in February, that helped dampen that market, and then started the downward cycle with the interest rates. And of course, here we've got sales of last year of 1822 compared to this month of February. Sales are less than half, 895, and the listings were only 1937. So you can see that this is quite a bit less than previous years, but it's up slightly from last month.
And what I see from here is, liking it to my retail background, is the shelves are being stocked again. Now with your help, being able to get what you want, like the house that you want, the home that you want, the apartment you want, whatever you want to settle on. Now you've got some beautiful inventory to go find exactly, if you're going to spend the money and, have the higher interest rate, let's get what truly you want versus settling. Is that correct? What I'm thinking when I look at this graph?
Yes, yes. The inventory is starting to come in, but we still need more inventory, and we're
Oh,
not seeing multiple offers as quite as much as last year. So homes are on the market a little bit longer, so you do have time to make that decision. However, this it does appear to be changing a little bit in terms of the number of sales. So we might end up in a couple of months with not enough inventory again. It's a very big possibility. Because looking at this graph here with our months of inventory, we were in a balanced market quite heavily. This is when the interest rates started moving
right.
up, and you see how we peaked and up and down, and then last month we are just slightly
Ah,
below 4.5% of inventory for Fraser Valley, and that puts us below the balanced market, which means there's not enough inventory. So even though the inventory was up February over January, we need to continue that trend, and we need to continue having a lot of homes for sale. So here again is our MLS statistics. This is again breaking down this one here, which is all asset classes, homes, condos, and townhomes. So this graph breaks it down a little bit further. So you can see detached homes are still very much in the balanced market. However, apartments and townhouses, they're significantly, again, not enough inventory. And then if we're looking at our pricing, so this is very interesting on our pricing. Looks like we're starting to see a bit of a turnaround. Now is it going to last? Is this going to be something that we're going to see sustained? I suspect it'll probably go up 1 month, might go up 2 months, might come back a month. We probably bounce along at this range but having a very slow increase. We're still 22% less than the March high of last year. So prices are definitely a lot lower, but we're seeing that those lower prices solidify. If you were to look at a graph and think that, you're building a base, and you can see that we are starting to do that. Having moved into Langley now, you can see that Langley definitely don't have enough detached homes for sale. We've got a lot of condos, and that I think is part of the Willoughby location and the constant building that's going on. And townhomes are also very much in demand and not enough on the market. So and then looking further at our Langley home prices, here you can see, that we were at the high of 1,884,500 last March, and presently in February we're at 1,467,800, which is, I think it's 0.5% up from the previous month of 1,462,400. So we're starting to correct ourselves from this slide. And what goes up goes down, and we're at this point where I think buyers are coming into the marketplace because they're starting to feel a bit more confident that we're seeing stability in the marketplace, and that with the interest rates having a top now, that they can feel confident that what they buy is what the market's going to be like for the next little while. And that was holding back. I mean, if you wouldn't want to buy a home and then 2 or 3 months later it's down 15%. So you needed to have that confidence that what you're buying is in the price range of going forward. And we're seeing the same thing here with townhomes up $1,300 from the previous month, and condos from $549,400 to $557,800. So there you go. I mean, we're starting to see a really good base being built. I don't think that we'll see this tremendous price increases that we saw last year. Hopefully not. That is not good for a healthy economy, and just some stable marketplace is required. So,
Andy, I got a quick question before we go on to,
Sure.
we all lose an hour's sleep
Yeah.
this weekend. is typically, you've been in the industry for 25 years.
Almost
And yeah, almost 30 years.
I decided to count.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. You know what? Numbers don't lie, my friend. And that's why I love meeting with you once a month. Is typically, and you've have many repeat clients that have moved up, down, sideways, you know, and moved on. Typically, how long does a family stay in a house?
Oh, that's
Like
a very,
typically, is it?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, and in a condo and townhome, the turnover is a bit faster, but I think with detached homes, it is running around 7 to 10 years that somebody,
So there you go. You're in
you
it
know,
for the
before they purchase.
a long haul then.
Yeah, but you know, places like destination locations like Fort Langley, it could be
Yeah.
as high as 20 years. You know, so when they
Oh,
move,
wow.
yeah, if you move into Fort Langley, you're here, then this is the destination place. If you're buying a house in Willoughby, it could be transitional that you're there for a little while, still building equity, maybe starting to raise a family, and then as the family gets starts filling out that house and you need a little one more bedroom, then you start looking for that
Right.
big home, and that's that transition. But yeah, no, Fort Langley is end destination, where, and Walnut Grove too is a little bit at that end destination where you love the location, you love, you know, it's close to work, it works for you, you like the shopping that's close by and the recreational and easy access to the freeway. And so then you you know, you end up staying here. I moved into Fort Langley in '89. And before that, I probably moved at least once every year and a half, 2 years, different
Right.
locations all over BC. So you know, once I was here, it was like I grew roots, and that's what happens in places like here. And then you get to know the community too.
Right. I mentioned that because when you see these numbers, and we've been meeting like this for, I think, for about a year and a half now ish, and to not be afraid of the numbers is that it's a long game. Because I can remember when I bought my house in Walnut Grove area there, brand new area called Bridal Falls, at 96 and 200, no, 96 and
Cool.
216.
216.
Yeah, 216th. And it was like $397,000. And then when I sold, you know, 10 years later, when that's, I wanted to know if I was typical, Andy, you know, it was just under $900,000. So real estate is a long game, and year over year, it might be, oh my gosh, did I make a good investment? But in the long haul, you make a great investment with real estate.
Yes. Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
Yep. And you know, but if you're buying and selling in the same market, then you know, you think, oh yeah, I'm gaining when I'm selling my condo or townhome. However, you know, you know, if you buy a house in the same area, then the marketplace will, the percentage gains will be the same, or should be the same. But it, you know, something I always suggest to people if they're considering moving up is to do so before market highs, because if you're if the market is, you know, say it's like 20% down from the high of last March, well, you know, if you're selling your condo and at 557 now, and it's 20%, so it was you could have sold it for 645. Well, that's it's $100,000 loss. However, you know, if you buy that house now at 1467, that is, you know, appreciably a $400,000 gain from, you know, what the market came down. So, you know, you need in a down market, you need to move up. You know, that's, you know, like when everybody else is selling, you're buying, and it's hard because a lot of people think, well, I'm down $100,000 from last March. Like, I don't want to lose that money. Well, you know, but what you're moving into is what you're going to make your money on, not what you have, you know. And so that's it's a difficult one to do, and
that's why we have Andy,
you know, to make that leap, you know.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. You know me, Andy, I kind of think like your viewers out here on your Facebook page, that they probably are asking and thinking the same kind of question.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, and we have that discussion a lot, you know, like what is the best time to do something, and how do you get ahead and play the best timing to make the most out of your probably your biggest home investment, right?
Oh, I bet. I bet.
So And,
Oh,
and
look at that. April 14th, we get to do this all over again.
yes, April 14th. Don't forget.
Awesome. If you want to quit sharing your screen,
Yeah.
I love hijacking your Facebook page on a monthly basis. So I saw in the good Facebook, you know me, I love to live on the socials, that
Oh, yes, very much
iMade is coming back to the community hall this weekend, both
yeah.
days.
Yes, very much so. And here you've got craftsmen coming from all over BC, and it's always a very eclectic
Mhm.
showcase of wares, and always a lot of fun to cruise through.
Yes, and we must think, because in a couple of short months, Mother's Day is coming up, and graduation gifts and baby gifts, you're going to find it all there at iMade. And as just to kind of hijack a little bit of your time here, for your viewers, people know that I'm with a 7-year member with the Seroptimus of the Langleys, that we
Yes.
raise funds for the different various programs to support women and girls. We just made our announcement yesterday that we have our Power of the Purse coming back at George Preston, where we have
Very good.
purses to bid on, expensive ones, and that's on May the 5th. So watch that. It'll be a lot of fun. Grab your girlfriends and grab your fellow coworkers, your female coworkers, and come have some fun.
Could we do a little contest? Is there a gate fee for that, that we could offer some free tickets?
Yeah, it's $35.
Well, there you
$35 to go.
go. Yeah, we could do a little contest for a pair of tickets, and help generate some interest.
Well, why don't we do that in April, the month
Okay.
before? That sounds
You bet.
fantastic. Thank you, Andy, for your
Okay.
generosity.
Oh,
We appreciate that at the Seroptimus.
you're most welcome.
Okay, until next time, my friend, where I come and hijack your Facebook page again. I
Yes.
wish you a restful 1 hour less this weekend, and we'll see you later in a month.
Yes, I'm off to put some sold stickers on McAllister. It's sold, so there we go. And I'm looking forward to new and exciting listings coming up this spring.
Perfect. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye. Take care.